Hello, friends. Today we're going to be reading the book We Shall Overcome, the Story of a Song, written by Debbie Levy and illustrated by Vanessa Brantley Newton. Back in slavery times, when enslaved people worked long days with no pay and no say, no freedom, no fairness, no choice and no chance, the people sang. They suffered, yet they sang. To soothe the hurt, to fight the cruelty, to declare that, yes, they were human beings. It took a war, the Civil War, to end slavery, but even after, white people treated black people as less than fully human, excluding them, ignoring them, blaming them, even attacking them, all because of the color of their skin. Black people were no longer slaves, it was true, but they were not truly free. Still, they believed things would get better. Still, they sang. It wasn't easy to believe. It wasn't easy when white people shut out African Americans from good jobs and good pay, schools and libraries and neighborhoods, restaurants and hotels and bathrooms, train cars and bus seats, playgrounds and parks. But black Americans and some white Americans did believe they could overcome the unfairness, hate, and violence. They started to protest. They brought a church song, "I Will Overcome," to the streets. But since they were marching and working together, they sang, "We will overcome. We, together, will overcome." From the streets, the song reached the ears of city people, country people, followers, and leaders. It reached Martin Luther King, the most important leader working for justice for African Americans. He took the song with him in his heart everywhere he traveled. The words changed a little, but the spirit stayed the same. There were many forms of race hatred and many ways to fight it. Some students fought by sitting down in restaurants and asking to be served. They didn't ask for free food. They didn't want special service. They just wanted to buy a meal like any white person could. The students sat and sat, waiting for hamburgers, donuts, and sodas that never came. The students sat and waited until they were arrested, and as they were taken away to jail, they sang. More and more people decided to stand up for rights for African Americans. One small group, the Freedom Singers, traveled 50,000 miles in 9 months to living rooms, concert halls, elementary schools, jails, high schools, and rallies, bringing "We Shall Overcome" to people in 40 states, inspiring them to believe that change was coming. The biggest gathering of people united in support of fairness for African Americans took place in the nation's capital. Marching toward the Lincoln Memorial, hundreds of thousands of people, black and white and young and old, joined hands, joined voices, and sang. Slowly, slowly, things were changing. Laws were passed. But race hatred stayed strong, even stronger than laws. So President Lyndon Johnson gave a speech. His ancestors once held slaves in Texas and Georgia, but President Johnson looked out at the millions of people watching him on television, spoke of equal rights, human rights, and voting rights for African Americans, and reciting the words of the song, "We must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice, and we shall overcome." How could such a song stay in one country? It could not. "We Shall Overcome" sailed across the oceans to other countries where people faced injustice. It traveled to South Africa, where black Africans embraced it as their own freedom song in their long struggle against an all-white government that treated them as outcasts in their own land. The song traveled to India, East Germany, South Korea, Czechoslovakia, Northern Ireland, Bangladesh, China, the Middle East, South America, wherever people worked for a better life. Even as it spread across the globe, the song never really left its American home. It took a very long time, but race hatred did grow weaker. Freedom grew stronger. President Lyndon Johnson was followed by another president, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and then the people of the United States, black and white, and young and old, elected an African American man to be their president. On that day, people sang the song that so many voices had sung before in pain and in protest. On that day, they sang in happiness. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Today, people still struggle against hatred and for freedom, against poverty and for fairness, against despair and for hope. We still sing. We sing to declare that yes, we are all human beings, deserving of respect, sharing the same planet, the same future, together.
Hi, I'm Jordan Millar. I'm 13 years old, and I've been a part of the New York Philharmonic's Very Young Composers for 5 years. Earlier this year, I created an orchestral arrangement of the civil rights anthem We Shall Overcome for the Philharmonic's Young People's Concert on Music as a Change Agent. The arrangement was to be performed by the orchestra with everyone attending. Although the concert was canceled due to the global pandemic, the need for us to be united in song still remains. Through this arrangement, I hope to provide people with faith, knowing that despite the many recent events, better days are ahead. Although the song was written over 100 years ago, its message of resilience is still just as relevant today. The phrase, "We shall overcome," not only provides a sense of unity, but promises that together we can create change. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the performance, and please share with us how you are using your voice to change the world.
Black people need to overcome the idea that the same people that shut us out will be the ones to let us in. And those people, white America, I am looking at you and anyone else who brought into the narrative surrounding black people and the stereotypes. It is time for you to unlearn, to overcome every lie you were told, every lie you told, every microaggression you partake in by accident. You see, it is time for you to do the work. because posting a picture with the hashtag Black Lives Matter and asking me how I feel is no longer enough.